This is the Variety Show 2024. I've always heard one of the hardest things for Christians to explain is Trinity, that God is Trinity. He's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's three in one and one in three. But I think this, if it is real, that is the true nature of God, is a Trinity. This is probably the best way to explain it that people can relate and understand. And that is Donald Trump would be the father. J.D. Vance, the would be Jesus, he'd be the Son, and Mike Johnson, the House Speaker of the Congress, would be the Holy Spirit. So that's a Trinity, and that would be just a kind of a neat way of explaining it, which mean that Jesus Christ would be the Vice President of heaven. He'd be Jesus Christ would be the J.D. Vance of heaven. I surprised I haven't really heard anyone explain it that way, but that's a really neat comparison. I think if you look at how our government is structured, that would be the Trinity. Because the way the Bible explains it, that God is a Trinity and that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and I mean it's really complicated, but the Father Creator, has certain information that Jesus doesn't have. If you look at stuff in the New Testament, and Christians go back and forth, they argue about Jesus was full blown God or Jesus was the second person in the Trinity. I mean, they go back and forth, and some of them disagree about how the Trinity is. But I just think, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Mike Johnson. I mean, you look at the 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 how the government is structured, that with Trump on the top and then J.D. Vance, the vice president, who doesn't, and J.D. Vance doesn't really have any power. He has very little power. Trump has all the power, and J.D. Vance doesn't have that much power. Actually, Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, has probably more power than J.D. Vance. And so Trump has all the power, but really, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, it does seem to kind of fit that. And there's so much argument among Christians and outside of Christianity about this Trinity, about how to explain it. Does the Father have more power than the Son? And but whatever the Trinity is, I mean, I think that's an interesting. I haven't heard anyone make comparison, but it seems to fit. It really does seem to fit. Variety Show 2024.